evening, boys and girls. It's Wednesday night, Wednesday the 19th of January 2022. Welcome along to this evening's chat show. Have we sorted out that camera yet? That camera's a bit funny, isn't it? It seems to be what I don't know what I think something's gone wrong with that. I might just sort of unplug it and plug it back in again. It's got a bit white, a little bit too white, really, isn't it? Anyway, good evening to you, boys and girls. Welcome to our little Wednesday night chat show on a rather slightly warmer Wednesday. At least we're not below freezing at the moment, are we? Today I've been just getting a few bits and pieces ready for my impending trip to the luxury Waterside Media Centre in Lincolnshire, where I'll be going up probably on Saturday night, and also cleaning some microphones. What I did, I've got, when I do the karaoke, I've got these two microphones, wireless ones. They're different brands, okay? And I put a bit of white tape around one of them because in between people singing their karaoke songs, they go in this ultraviolet machine, and it says it kills all the bacteria and all the viruses that are on the end of the microphone. I mean, I wish I'd done it years ago, to be honest, before COVID, because I've had little chest things and stuff like that. I've had people come up to me and say, "No, I got a chest infection at the weekend. I reckon it came from one of your microphones." Well, of course, you don't know whether it did or not, but I suppose it's a possibility. You know, if you saw some of the phlegm that comes out of people's mouths, it's awful. Oh, it's awful, dear. When they're using the microphones. Sorry, I haven't got my button done, have I? When they're using those microphones, if you saw some of the phlegm that comes out and ends up on the end of that microphone, it's really not pleasant. And of course, the people don't really know. You know, I think they're unaware that they do it. There is a couple of people, I could point them out to you, people that I know very well, but, you know, it's probably just one of those things. And I wish I had this disinfectant thing years ago, to be honest. Certainly, I will carry on using it now, even when the COVID thing hasn't gone away yet, of course. But I will carry on using that now for all time, I think, until they don't want me anymore, which will happen at some point, I suppose, you know. That's the trouble with this sort of game we're in, anything to do with entertainment. Rarely does anyone want to retire from doing an entertainment sort of job. You are retired by the people that got fed up with you. You know, it's just one of those things, how it is. Anyway, so these two microphones, one had a bit of white tape on it. This machine takes two mics, right? And they lay flat in this machine. And it takes two mics. And I put white tape around one of them and nothing around the other one. They're both black. So I called that one the white microphone and that one the black one. But what tended to happen was people would come up and they would say to me, I say, take the white one. Oh, which one's that? Because they don't see the white tape. All they see is the two black mics. So that wasn't kind of working. I've been doing that for a while. So on Saturday this week, I noted up in the bit where they cook all the food and what have you, they had some labels up there. So I said, can I have a couple of those labels? I'll write a number on each microphone. Okay, so fine, that's all right. So I stuck these labels on there without thinking too much about it. And I wrote number 1 and number 2. I mean, take note. Microphone number 1, please. Microphone number 2. What do you think would be a great idea? Except there was only one number on the front. So sometimes people put the microphone in and the number was underneath, so you couldn't see the damn thing. I thought, oh, well, that's not going to work, is it? So I've brought them back here and I've charged them up again, all ready for Friday's performance. And I thought, oh, I've got to do something about those labels. That's not working. Right, I know what I'll do. I've got this new, I must show you this. I've got this new label maker, right, which my sister bought me for Christmas, that and loads of labels. So I thought I'll print some labels out, like in a long string, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. And I'd do 4 of those and put them kind of on each corner. Do you know what I mean? Have I got a microphone here? I haven't got one here now, have I? Pretend what can we do? Pretend this is a microphone, right? Pretend this is a microphone. So I put 1, 1, 1, 1 all on the 4 corners, but as in little printouts. Actually, I don't know if that's going to be big enough. Will people be able to even see the numbers? Oh, I never thought of that. Anyway, so I thought I'd do this, right? So I thought, well, I better remove these labels first. Oh, and of course they don't remove easily, do they? And honestly, you're trying, and it tears. Oh, God's sake. and you get it, you're trying to take it off with your nail, and all the little bits of paper get stuck under your nail, don't they? Oh, it's dreadful. Absolutely dreadful. I'm scraping away. I thought, oh no. And then I remembered white spirit. White spirit or turpentine. I can't bear the smell of that stuff. And people sniff that, don't they, to get high. Oh, it stinks, this stuff. So I went outside, actually, and I've got a bottle of white turpentine in an outside cupboard. And I got a cloth and a paper towel, kitchen roll type thing. I put some on there, and I'd got all the paper off. It was just a sticky, horrible sticky. Because you know what people are like, Ow, the microphone's all sticky. They think that some dirty person has got sticky hands and it's all gone over there after they've been eating a jam sandwich or something like that. And I got the white spirit, and it comes off so easily, and that's it. So now all I've got to do is put the labels on. But now that I've thought about it, I mean, it's going to be a little bit small. 1 1 1 1 1 and 2 2 2 2 2. I don't know how I'm going to do that. I do try and improve things, and it doesn't always happen. So that's what I've been doing today. It took some time to do that, actually. Then I wait up my mate's house. He's not very well again at the moment. Spoke to this doctor. The doctor reckons he's had COVID, actually. All the tests have come back negative, including that one that you send off. What's that one? PEP, the one you send off. They all come back negative, but so I went up to see him, made him a cup of tea, came back home here and had my dinner. Very nice. Homemade chips and sausages and tinned vegetables. I quite like tinned vegetables. Do you? Tinned vegetables at the moment? Carrots and peas. I have a whole tin of carrots and a whole tin of peas. Put them in and just warm them up. They taste better than frozen ones. Seriously. So much better than frozen ones, and probably just as good for you. That's what I had for my dinner, and then I went to bed, and here we are now. Chatting away. If you want to join in the show, feel free. You can send a text 07451 287 337 to get directly to me without going in the chat box. Or you can send an email there. There's the email, chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. I'll pop in and out of the chat box now and again, but if you find your messages are getting missed, then just say, but the number's not up there, is it? Oh yeah, there's a text number. Top left hand. Is that your left? Is that your left hand? Top left hand corner is a text number, or you can use the email as well, and that will get straight through to me. Alrighty, okay, boys and girls. And talking of, where was I going with that now? Hang on, I've lost the place now. That's it. Coldness. As I say, not as cold as it has been. We've had -2 here. 1 or 2 days, 1 or 2 nights this week. And how do you keep warm without turning up that little old thermostat there, saving the money? How do you do it? Have you got any tips on how to keep warm? I have to tell you that my thermostat has been on. I've had the heating on now for a few weeks, to be honest. Okay. I used to not have the heating on at all unless I was actually here, right? But I've discovered, I don't know why I didn't realise this years ago, but I discovered if you let the house cool down too much, right, it's a blooming job to get it back up again. And I remember coming back from the caravan just after Christmas. And I turned the heating on a good hour and a half, 2 hours before I got here. And it hadn't been on at all. And when I got in, I thought, blimey, it's a bit cold in here. It hadn't heated up to a reasonable temperature. But I now leave it on. But I don't leave it on. I think the recommended is 21, isn't it? Is that the recommended sort of heat that people say you should be? 21. Mine is on 15. Seriously, it's on 15. And the way I keep warm, as you know, I do quite a lot of walking, volunteer litter picking. I've been doing quite a lot of that the last couple of days. 2 hours, 2.5 hours, I go out and clear. And when you come back, after doing all that walking, remember, it's just gentle walking. It's not like walking fast or running or jogging or anything like that. When you come back, you are automatically warmer. All right? So that helps. Going out for a walk helps. Obviously, put a coat and a hat on. You come back and you're warm. You are. Right? In the house, 15 degrees, as I say. I have a jumper on most of the time. It's on 15 degrees now. I've got this on. I am not cold whatsoever. In actual fact, I'm actually considering opening that window a little bit over there because I'm so warm at the moment. All right? But of course, I am used to that. If you're sitting in your house all the time with that heating on at 21 degrees, of course, you're going to get cold by whacking it straight down to 15. You've got to get used, I think, to that level of heat. My niece at the moment, she's in Cyprus. She said it was really cold there the other day, and it was something like 11 degrees. Well, I mean, that is cold, you know, but it's not as cold as it is here. And at 15 degrees, I'm not really cold. I have a jumper on all the time. The only time I might feel cold is if I've been sitting in the living room for a while and I'm watching the telly, especially at night time, and I don't do that very often. Honestly, I can't sit still and do nothing and just sit there and mong in front of the telly like I used to do when I was a teenager. I used to get in from school. 4:30. That's it. I'd sit in the chair in the living room. My sister will tell you this because she knows. I sit in the living room on this armchair, and that's where I would be all night long until bedtime. I don't know, 10 o'clock at night, 9 o'clock at night. Then I'd go to bed. There were times where I'd go out on my bicycle or might go to Scouts or something like that, but generally, and I was quite happy to do that. I can't do that anymore. I've been out too many nights working and I cannot settle at night time. I just can't do it. It's even worse at the caravan, actually. It's even worse there. It's all very well going to visit people, but on days or nights where you don't do anything, to sit there on this lovely settee watching the telly, it just does my head in, just doing nothing. So I have a jumper on, and then when I get a little bit chilly in front of the telly, even with the jumper on, I've now got this, well, I mean, I've always had it, I've got this like fleece blanket type thing. You know, I generally get electric shocks from those sort of things, but I have this fleece blanket thing, and I put the chair back, I put my feet up, and I pull this thing up, 15 degrees, thermostat on, and I don't get cold. I really don't. I've got a separate heating thing in my bedroom. It's like same thing as I've got in here. There you go. 1 minute. That thing up. See that thing up there? Oh no, you can't see that. Hang on. Here you go. Yeah, right. See it up there? See that up there? Right. Okay, that does heating and air cooling as well. Okay, and I can turn that on to heating it in the bedroom, and I put that on for about 10 minutes before I go into bed. And it's really warm in there, and then I turn it off, and that's it. So that's how I keep warm. I go walking, even after a meal. You have a decent meal, hot drink or something like that, you are warm afterwards. I mean, you don't want it too low so that your nose is cold or anything like that. That gets cold, doesn't it? But have you got any suggestions on how you keep warm at all without whacking that heating up? And God knows what some of these bills are going to be like. You know, I at the moment I'm paying £80 a month, £80 a month I'm paying at the moment. I'm expecting that to go up to, I don't know, 140. I'm guessing 140. My brother-in-law pays £350, sort of £350 a month. He's just had an offer from his energy people, right, for a fixed rate for X number of years, £700 a month. Some people don't earn that in a month. So we've got to do something. How would you keep warm? How would you keep warm? Text us your answer there, 07451 287 337, all right? Good evening to Mark Bowles. Evening, sir. Oh, let's have a little picture of Mark up. We must have a picture of Mark up. Where are you, darling? You're on here somewhere. Don't worry, you haven't been removed. I would never take it out. Sorry, I'd never take you off my system. Once it's in there, you're not going anywhere, my love. It will lock shut. So it's locked shut onto Mark's photo. There he is. Little Mark Bowles. Having a little drink. Evening, Mark. Beautiful picture. Do you know, I might print that off. If I had a colour printer, I think I'd print off and put that on the wall next to my pillow next door. Huh? Thank you, Mark. Good evening to Rachel Wheatland. She's been taking more pictures of the moon. She's got this wonderful camera. Actually, next time, if I remember next time, I'll grab some of those shots, if I might, Rachel, and show people them. Thank you. Good evening to Vera from Vera's Choice in the Morning. Vera's Choice in the Morning. Reach on air, or as Adam Tubero says, Adam the plumber, he says, Chris Reardon in the morning. Bleach your hair. You're always going to hear that now, aren't you? In your head. Huh? Good evening to Mr. Ray Reynolds. Hello, Ray. All right, I was chatting to Ray earlier on the phone today. He's doing all right. He's looking forward to our new karaoke night that we're going to be doing in East London, which is there. I put the poster up there. There you go. New karaoke starting Tuesday nights from the 1st of February in Walthamstow, E17. Stay another day, stay another day. That one, yeah, stay another day. So we're looking forward to that. To be honest, it is a bit of a trek for me there, okay? It's like a 100-mile round trip, that one. And it's about 2 hours to get there and about an hour and 20 minutes coming home. And that is the same as Central Station, but it's further, if you see what I mean. I went right round the M25, right round it, you know, past it from the M3, so M4, M40, M1, A1 and further. And I can't remember exactly where I came in now, but I didn't recognise any of the roads at all, so I wouldn't know that. It's on Forest Road, as I say. All right, Ray, good evening, Ray. Good evening to Shania, head of the Catholic Church on the Isle of Wight. Good evening, Shania. Did you look for my mistake this week, darling? Starting the communion hymn in the wrong key. As soon as I hit the notes, I thought, oh my God, that's a bit high. And I hadn't transposed it back down again on the organ. Thank you. Good evening to lovely Maureen. Evening, Maureen. And hello to Jason Hughes as well. Very good evening to James McAllister. Hello, James. All right. James says you might want to wrap coloured tape around the bottom of the mic or the lead. Use a different colour for the other one. So you can say, use the red microphone. Well, I did that with a piece of white tape, and it's quite thick tape. Here, it's here. 1 minute. 1 minute. Here. I put this tape round it. Really thick white tape. So one had the white tape and one had no tape, but both microphones are black, and they still were saying to me, well, which one's the white one? I mean, that's the sort of intelligence of some people, you see. That's the trouble. Plus, the tape started getting a bit, you know what I mean? Every time people's handles here, it was coming a little bit off the end, and you have to remove the tape and then remove the sticky stuff, so that's kind of not working too well. But we'll see how we go. Thanks very much for your comment there, young James. Right, where are we going? Let's have a look there. Let's just pop into Mr. Chat Box and see if you're mentioning the heating at all. You must use. How do you keep warm without actually turning the heating up? Anyone? Evening to Michael Lawrence. Evening, Mark Stone. Greetings to you. There's Adam the plumber. Now, Adam the plumber, how can we keep warm without turning our heating up? Any suggestions there, my darling? There we are. Fran Green, John Parrish, evening to you. There's George Bond. He just wraps up warm, he says. Wraps up warm. John says an electric shawl in the lounge on the sofa. 18 watts. Yeah, I've seen those. And some people, they have a little, it's kind of like an electric blanket, but it's not. Now, what's that? A throw. An electric throw. 18 watts. I mean, that's nothing, is it? The trouble is with those sorts of things, John, and anyone else that uses them, you've got to have that heating on a bit. Otherwise, you get a really cold face and nose, don't you? I mean, I don't want to get to the stage where I've got to wear a hat and a coat sitting there at home. I mean, just awful. But my mate doesn't. He wants to walk around the house in a T-shirt, you know. So it costs money to walk around the house in a T-shirt. Or even better, a pair of pants. Or not him, though. Dear. Someone a little bit younger than that, we'd like to have a look. Mark Stone says, just wrap up with cloves or turn on the oven. Well, again, turning on the oven, that means you're using gas or electricity, doesn't it, Mark? That's the only thing. We're trying to do this without turning things on, if you see what I mean. All right? Of course, part of the thing is that our houses aren't particularly well insulated. I say that. My nephew's house, Gary and Stacey, and great nephews Harry and great niece Evie, their house is very warm. I think they rarely have the heating on in there. Whenever you go in there, I'm very hot. I'm actually very hot. And actually my niece as well, Tracy, she's renting her house out at the moment. I remember being in there a few times. It's something, I can't believe how long it is ago now. It must be over 3 years since I or they were in their house. And again, that was a very modern house and very warm. The thing is, I don't particularly like modern houses. I find them a little bit small and cramped, you know. But of course, the smaller the room, the easier it is to keep warm, isn't it? I mean, I've been up in my loft and I had an old duvet type thing, and I put that across the rafters. I mean, it's already got insulation in it, and I slung that across the rafters directly on top of my bedroom as well. I gather you're not supposed to insulate it too much. It's got to breathe a bit, otherwise you get condensation and all that stuff, you know. But in other countries like Sweden and Norway, their houses are much better insulated than ours. We've got old houses here, really, haven't we? You know, I seem to remember. The weird thing is, I remember being in scout tents in February when there's snow on the ground. That's not a joke. And there'd be like, certainly in the Cubs and the Scouts, there'd be like 6 or 8 of us in. No, it wouldn't be 8. 6 of us. There'd be 6 of us in a tent. And I don't remember really being cold in there, in a scout tent or a cub tent. When there's 6 of us in there, maybe that's just like us keeping each other warm or something. I don't know. Rachel says, if I'm cold when the heating isn't on, I wear my bedrobe over my clothes. Yeah, that's an easy one to do, isn't it? Bedrobe over clothes. Take note of some of this. Might save you a bit of money. As I say, if you've already been sitting there for weeks with your heating on 21 or more, you can't just flick it straight down to 15. You'll feel that. You've got to do it gradually. Over the next few weeks, 1 degree a week. There you go. There's a challenge for you. There's a challenge. Try and get down to 15 degrees over the next few weeks. By one of these methods that millions of viewers all over the world are helping us with. How are you going to keep warm? I'm in and out this chat box, so as I say, if I miss your messages, text them in, all right, because I can't possibly see everything. Mark Stone also says, chippy chips with a tin of vegetables are good. There you go. Keep you nice and warm. Hello to Paul Gallagher. Evening, Paul. Hello to you. Let's just scroll up there. Okay. Any further suggestions there? Hot water bottle. Hello to Lisa Barker. Hello, Lisa. Whereabouts are you, my love? Welcome along to our show. Hot water bottle. There's a cheap one. And it lasts ages, doesn't it? How many people make a hot water bottle for the bed, for your feet, and you get it, and you make it that little bit too hot, don't you? And you can't keep your feet on it because it's so hot. Is that you, Lisa? You think, well, just make it a little bit hot, and it actually feels all right, sort of on your hands. But you get in the bed and you shove this hot water bottle down the end of the bed, don't you? And you put your feet on it. Oh, that's lovely and warm. And then you realise it's actually a little bit too hot. You can't keep it on your feet. And you think it'll be all right in a minute. Well, it won't, because it's under the covers and it does retain the heat. Yeah, Lisa does that as well, don't you, Lisa? She makes it too hot, and then you can't get your feet on it. I've actually got an electric blanket up at the caravan, and I stopped using it because the duvet there is so thick, and I got too hot in the caravan. I actually got too hot in it. I got a lovely, it's about 3 or 4 years old, that electric blanket. You're supposed to have those tested every year, aren't you, electric blankets? What else? A hot water bottle. Anyone ever had anyone burst? I don't know how that happens. It's never happened to me, but I've heard stories of people that have got hot water bottles with them and they actually burst in the bed or something like that. Awful. Who cuddles a hot water bottle? You know, cuddle. Do you pretend it's a person? I mean, how sad are you? Of course, if you've got someone in a bed, that makes a lot of difference as well. The trouble is you have to put up with the farting, don't you? Oh, no, dear. Oh, that smell. I don't think I could ever sleep with anyone again, dear. I can't bear it. No. Awful. Mark Stone says, I always make my hot water bottles hot and always too hot. He does it as well. Gary Ross, he's got a staffy. Hello, Gary. Always sits beside me on the sofa. Heat, and she creates a lot of heat. Yeah, well, my mate's got 5 cats. They all sleep on the bed. Actually, my sister, she's got 2 dogs. I know the other dogs she used to have on the bed. I don't know if the 2 she's got now both sleep on the bed. A lot of people sleep with their pets. Some people frown on that. I don't know why. You know. Oh, is that horrible? You sleep with your dog? Well, of course you do. You love it, don't you? You know, nothing sick about that. As long as you wash the paws first. Or maybe the dog hasn't correctly had its little poo properly. Oh no, that would end up in your bed, wouldn't it? Hello to Michael Pullman. Welcome, Michael. Nice to see you there. Nice to see Michael. Let's have a little quick up there. George Bond said he doesn't feel the cold much. No, I don't suppose you would actually, George, because you go fishing, don't you? And I know you're sitting out there for hours on end. It's all about what you're wearing. As I say, you know, if you want to walk around in a blooming vest or a T-shirt all the time, and you're wondering why your heating bills are so high, well, there's your answer. And then sometimes you can't help people sometimes either, you know? You can't help them. You explain to them, well, if you put a jumper on, then you won't be so... Oh, why should I wear a jumper? Well, why have you asked me then? You know, there's some people you just can't help. They ask you a question, you give them the answer, and they come back with something. It's almost like they're trying to have a row with you all the time. And I can't be bothered with that, dear. Just people who just constantly want to find an opposite opinion all the time. There are people like that as well. Hello to I just little Mr. thing there. Okay, let's have a look at the text then. Vera says, "Hi Chris, has Rachel got a website? I'd like to look at her pictures of the moon." No, she's got a Facebook, but not a website. I don't know if she's got a website or not. But she'll answer me. She'll probably answer me if she's there. Mark says, well, absolutely, Mark. I mean, I'm glad to help you out with that. Very, very pleased to help you out of that. Very pleased. You won't have to do anything. I'll just do all the work. Thank you, Mark. Fran says, like I said, my partner bought me a heated jacket. We set it to 15 degrees and I've got a fleecy blanket. There you go. Look at that. You don't need to be sitting there with your blooming gas right up. By the way, does anyone know the answer to this? I know the gas prices are shooting up. Is that the electric as well, or just the gas? I know there's this big thing at the moment. It's certainly on GB News. They're talking about they've got to cut the VAT on fuel. But I see that story. I mean, it's 5%. You know, I mean, how much is that going to save you? Not a lot. I don't know why they're making this big thing about cutting the VAT. You know, so for every £100 bill, £5 of that is VAT. That's nothing. That's nothing. That ain't going to make any difference to people, is it? Cutting the VAT off. Oh, it makes me die. Sometimes I watch some of these things and the stupid things that they come out with. Is it 5? I think it's 5% VAT on it. What's VAT on what is? Hang on 1 moment, please. What is the VAT on gas? 20%, 5%. I thought so, 5%. Right? So if you get a gas bill of £200, right? We'll take off the VAT for you. Okay, that's £10. And they're shouting and screaming it on the telly that you need to take VAT. It's going to make no difference at all to people. 10 quid out of 200. Blooming idiots. Idiots. No, they got to. I don't know what the answer is, to be honest. Don't know what the answer is. I beg your pardon. Yes, Fran also has the heating set to 15 degrees. Well, we wait and see, don't we? I haven't had a bill yet. My energy provider went bust. I was with Pure Planet. They say they had all renewable electric, but I mean that to be honest with you, that was beyond the call. That I wasn't bothered about that. I went with the cheapest one, which happened to be Pure Planet at the time. They went bust, so I've gone to Shell Energy now, and that swapped over. I think it was October or November. They still haven't sorted out all the moving the accounts across. I've now got an account, and I've started sending them meter readings, but I haven't actually seen how much I'm paying now since October. And I usually get a bill every month, you know. It tells you how much you've spent this month. But nothing now since October. And I don't... Although I pay so much a month, you know, so there's not going to be a massive bill. At the moment, I pay 80 quid a month. 80 quid. Remember, I've got solar panels. The majority of that is gas. Yeah. So we'll just have to see what happens. Very good evening to Paul in Amsterdam. Evening, Paul. Who says, when I was 13, I got a 3rd-degree burn on my calf from a hot water bottle. There you go, you see. They're blooming dangerous things. Third-degree burn on my calf from a hot water bottle. They think my leg was pressed against a metal band. No idea why I didn't wake up, and he's still got the scar. Wow. Well, that's the thing, you see. You could, even though that hot water bottle, I think to you, it feels a little bit hot, but I'll put up with it and I'll go to sleep. Well, if you go to sleep and that's constant heat on you and you haven't noticed it, you're going to wake up with a burn, aren't you? Blooming dangerous they are. Dangerous things. I'd hate to have one sort of burst on me. How does that even happen? How does a hot water bottle, people must fill them right up, mustn't they? I don't fill mine about 2/3. I have 2/3 if I use a hot water bottle, and then I squeeze out the air and do the thing up, and then you wipe inside it, don't you? Because you don't want dampness. I think you've wet the bed, dear. When's the last time you did that, eh? The few of you older people, it happens to regularly, isn't it? I know it is, dear. Don't worry about that. No, it doesn't happen to me, actually. No, it doesn't. Stop saying that. Rachel, message for Vera. I don't have a photographic website, only her Facebook profile, which you could see, actually. Perhaps, let's Rachel Wheatland. If I send you this, okay, I'm going to... Oh, hang on a minute. I've done something wrong now. 1 minute. There it is. Rachel Wheatland. Let me email that to you, Vera. And then I think you're going to be able to see. See if you can see this, Vera. Vera's choice in the morning. Which on earth? I don't know why he's got a number 1 next to it. There you are. Try that, Vera. See if you can see that now, my love. And you'll be able to see things there. James McAllister. Oh, look at this. Mike, what is that? Mike markers. Oh, we like that. Hang on, let me take a photo and show the millions of people all over the world. This is all in Chinese, dear. Oh, it's got logos on it as well. Oh, I could have a logo on there, couldn't I? Hang on. Where are we? Let's take a photo of this. There you go. Yeah. Like that. There you go. Mike markers, you put those around it. That's a good idea. I might get a couple of those then. That is a good idea. I like the coloured things there. It might stop these idiots from holding the end of the microphone. People don't know how to use microphones, you know. No, they hold them. You see, this is the trouble, right? So this microphone here, and they hold them. Now watch what happens, right? They come up to sing a song, and then they hold them like that. Well, you can't hear me now, can you? You know what I mean? And they put their hand right over the top of it. They think they're rappers, except you can't hear the person. You can only send it up so much before the blooming feedback kicks in, unfortunately. Yeah. Anyone else says that? Jason said there's plenty of hot air under our sheet. Oh, please, dear. Not at your age, Jason. I don't think so, darling. Plenty of hot air under the sheets. Please. At your age? I don't think so, Jason. I should imagine that's all dried up, dear. Just powder that comes up now, isn't it? Hello to Effion Davis. Welcome to you. Is that a Welsh flag there? Are you in Welsh Wales? Are you in the valley? Is it in the valley? Hello, Effion. Whereabouts are you in Wales? Good evening to Mike Rees-Ponto as well, joining us there. Good. George uses the wood from all the beds he breaks from firewood. Is that right, George? Thank you very much. Adam the plumber says the advantage of having a partner is bed and then farting is it warms the bed up nicely. Oh, God, no, Adam. No, dear. No, the advantage... I think the advantage of having a partner in bed, Adam, is that when you're upset about something, you can hit them and pretend that you were asleep when you did... Oh, I'm sorry, I did it in my sleep. I'm sorry. Has anyone been whacked in the face before by their other half when they're in bed because they're asleep? Has that ever happened to anyone? All righty. Thank you very much. Well, that's that subject. And I bring that up because we've had 2 stories in the paper this week, or last week, about 2 of the energy companies that have suggested ways of keeping warm. This one's from the Daily Mail, and it says Britain's 3rd biggest energy supplier, which sparked fury after recommending that households save on their heating bills by cuddling their pets. I mean, why is that? You see, why do people get offended by something like that? I think that's a perfectly sensible idea. Cuddle your pet. If you're cold, cuddle your pets. But people don't see the funny side. Oh, that's really offensive to us. Oh, you make all that money. I see the funny side of everything. I really do. If only some of you could do that. Well, you can, but some of you can't. Every time I look at something, I will be able to see a bit of comedy in it, whatever it is. And believe me, there's some of the stuff I laugh at you wouldn't want to know. It's usually at someone else's expense. I like to think of myself as a kind person, though. But usually it's someone else's distraughtness, if that's even a word, that amuses me. And rather than you see, cuddle your pets, and you think that's nice. No, they don't like it. They're axing people as well. That was OVO energy. Cuddle your pets to keep warm. That sounds fair enough to me. Why can't people see the funny side of it? Oh, it's not fair because us poor people, we can't afford a pet. And you get like that. Rather than going along with the joke, they take offence and start tweeting away. It's like, I just don't... Talking about that tweeting, though, I don't think there's many people on that Twitter at all. I really don't. Who's on Twitter? Not me. Not me anymore. Not on it anymore. I just found it boring. Just people rowing. Same as Facebook, to be honest. Just people on there rowing all the time. Some of the stuff that you see on there is unbelievable. Family stuff. And they rowing on there all the time. And there's another one here which was on the BBC news site. A similar story to that. Energy supplier E.ON. Again. I find this hilarious. Energy supplier E.ON has said it is incredibly sorry for sending socks to customers in a bid to encourage them to turn the heating down. Now you know how much difference it makes to wear a pair of socks in the house on a cold night. Go on, do me a favour now. Take your socks off now. Take your socks off now. No slippers, nothing on your feet, and see how much colder you feel in 20 minutes' time. It makes a difference. So E.ON sent people socks, and they're not happy again. They've got something for nothing, and they're still moaning. Moan. Honestly. It says on the BBC website, this is last week, it's the second major supplier to admit to a marketing gaffe when customers are facing a cost of living squeeze driven by energy prices, which is not the fault of the energy suppliers. It's the fault of the people that send us the gas, i.e. Russia. He's the one that's put the prices up. Earlier in the week, as mentioned, OVO's founder said he was really embarrassed about energy-saving advice, including doing a few star jumps. No, I'm not. I'm not doing star jumps. No way. I'll have a bleeding heart attack. Great niece Evie would be able to do that. She can do star jumps. If I jumped, I would jump, land, and then everything would be wobbling for about 10 seconds afterwards. It's awful. Awful. That's what happens when you get fat. 13 stone 10 at the moment. I'm fairly stable at that. Bit fat. About a stone and a half overweight I am. Doing a few star jumps. Well, I mean, that's the same as me going out walking, I suppose. And I've already told you, after a fairly long walk, and you don't have to go at rapid speeds. You don't have to be walking around at warp speed. Just gently walk, and you come back here, you are warm. Of course you are. Anyway, so it's up to you. You can get the free socks from OVO Energy. You can get the free socks from E.ON. Well, I mean, what's the problem? They sent everyone socks. How funny is that? John Paris says, my water bottle has a furry teddy it fits into. Perhaps you can make a cover with Mark's face on yours. No, there's only one cover I want Mark on, and that's my pillowcase, darling. Little picture. Do you know you can get pillowcases and you can have a photo put on them? Actually, I'm not 100% sure. I think my nephew and his wife have got, it might be a blanket actually, or a throw with little Olivia who they lost in August last year. May she rest in peace. I think they've got something with her. It might be pillowcases or a blanket. I'm sure I've seen something in their house where they've had her little face printed on it, which is quite a nice thing, isn't it? In my case, I would have, of course, Mark Bowles' face printed on my pillowcase cover. Maybe on the tissues as well. Thank you very much. Vera says I got whacked in the face by an ex at the time because I fell asleep in the middle of... I can't read that out. A funny time to fall asleep, Vera. Well, they can't have been very good at it. That's all I can say, my love. Free socks from Ian. Yeah, I mean, they're so ungrateful people. They've got something for nothing and they're bleeding moaning, aren't they? Effion is in Anglesey. Oh, yes, Anglesey. I've heard of that. Was born and live in Shropshire. I think I've been to Anglesey. Is there a beach there, Anglesey? I seem to remember that. Maybe years and years ago. Good. Okay. I'll tell you what. Well, shall we open those phone lines yet, or a little bit later on? Maybe we'll do a little bit later on. I don't know. I want to show you the world's biggest cat. Well, it probably isn't the world's biggest cat. I'm sure you've seen a bigger cat than that, but I've come across a story in the Sun today. No kitten around, okay? Giant cat looks to break world record after weighing in at 27.5 pounds. So that's, what's a stone? That's 14, 15, 16, 17, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 27. That's almost 2 stone, this cat. Do you want to see how big it is? This is a big cat. Bing! Look at that! Now, I'm not being funny. That cat does not look very happy. That's one of those faces on a cat which says to you, don't come near me. Am I right? The story says, no kitten around. This is a Maine Coon. It weighs 12.5 kilograms, that's 27.5 pounds, making it just a whisker away from a world record. I mean, the thing is enormous, isn't it? My mate's got a white cat just like that, but it's nowhere near as big as that cat. Apparently, this cat is only 22 months old. She's still got some growing to do. It's in Russia. She says, the lady who owns it, I could not even think that an ordinary baby can become so big. He not only grew up big in appearance, he's also very smart and always behaves calmly. Well, thank God for that. You know, you don't want a cat like that suddenly turning you. And they do, don't they? Cats suddenly turn. My nephew's got 2 cats, and they're both the same. There's a beautiful black cat, jet black it is, called Rocky, and there's a tabby called Belle. Okay? And both of them, you can be sitting there stroking them away, and all of a sudden they bite you. And it's a hard bite as well. I mean, I'll be honest, they scare me as cats. I've never known cats to attack you for no reason at all. My mate's got 5 cats. None of them ever bite me. And they don't growl or anything. One of them's a little bit, you know, in the head because he's had some of his brain removed. He had a bit of a brain tumour, which sadly has come back. And this time they've decided to let nature take its course. Not through money, but because it's probably the kind of thing to do, to be honest. Cats and pets do go for a lot when something goes wrong. So he's a little bit funny and you have to be a bit careful with him. But he's never attacked me. You know, he kind of... Well, he kind of growls sometimes, but I feel that he's not growling necessarily because he's angry, but because that's his way of communicating. You know, I've seen cats I love cat videos on TikTok, and there's a particular cat on there. It's got like longer ears and then a bit of fur coming out of the ears. I don't know what make of cat is, or the breed of cat is. It's got fur coming up here, and it always seems so angry. You go near it, and it's big. It's a big cat. And the teeth come out, and it always seems to be quite angry, this cat. Anyway, don't know if I fancy a big cat like that. We'll open the phone line now. Anyone who wants to call in about anything? Just a minute now. can do so now. Okay, phone line's open now. 020 8144 3477. If you're thinking of calling in, you must send your number. If it comes up as a withheld number or a private number, something like that, you won't get answered, okay? We've tried to do it before, but unfortunately what tends to happen is that people just put the phone down and they keep doing it. So I don't answer a withheld number anymore. Only numbers that come up on the screen. So you're sending me your number. You only have my word to say that number won't go anywhere else, okay? I promise you that. But the withheld numbers don't get answered, all right? All right, so we got a call already. Well, that was very quick. Dan Woodhouse, you must have been waiting to call in tonight. Dan, were you?
Chris, is that you?
Yes, that is me. Who else would it be, dear?
I got this turned up.
What?
Hang on. Can I hear you now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, that's better. Oh, well, you're joining me in this.
What are you doing? You're breathing very excessively at the moment. I'm a little bit concerned.
I know, it might be because I'm still exhausted after running for that train to get here to be gaff. We're in the gaff in Ilford tonight. We're out for a meal.
The gaff? What's that?
It's called the Scraped Spoons of Ilford.
Oh, it's a dinner place, is it?
Yeah, it's the Weatherspoons.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Have you eaten yet?
No, I've ordered already me chicken and chips.
Yeah.
And and would you believe it? It's here already. I don't believe it. It's actually arrived. Wow.
Oh,
I'm out with my old mates. I've got Adrian Gill, Dan Carruthers, and Stephen Givons.
Okay.
So yes, we're actually live. It is Chris Reardon, Stephen. Yes,
it's Atticus.
I'm your favourite fairy.
Stephen
It's your favourite fairy here. Hello.
You know it's Atticus.
Yeah. Yes, we're all here.
Can you not screen? Can we stream to all the televisions in the Weatherspoons, please? Is it a Weatherspoons?
Yeah.
They're very reasonable price there. So tell me, what dinner have you got and how much did it cost?
Hang on. Chris, can you speak up a bit? Because I can't. You are coming through a bit quiet.
Oh, well, you're probably in a loud area, so you can't hear me.
Could be,
I'm wondering, what dinner do you have and how much did it cost?
Oh, I'm having the chicken melt with cheese, barbecue sauce, chips, peas, half a tomato, and a pint of red cider.
Right, and how much is that?
About £7-8.
Oh, that sounds very reasonable. Is it a decent sized meal, or
Oh yeah, plenty of chips.
Some of these places are a bit tight with the chips, aren't they? Is it all right?
Oh yeah.
Have you got enough chips or not?
Yeah, oh yes, yeah, I can go along with that. Yes.
All right, well, enjoy your meal, Dan.
Yes.
Thanks for calling in. Cheerio.
Yes. Give my love to everybody in the chat box, and I'll see you next week.
Oh yeah, bye, Dan. He's
Thank you.
out for dinner tonight. That's quite nice, isn't it? I don't think I've ever had have I had a meal in a Weatherspoons before? I must have done at some point. But it's cheap food, isn't it? You know, very reasonably priced food. Vera says the cat doesn't look real. It looks like it's been photoshopped. Shall we have another look? I don't know about... I mean, the head looks enormous, that cat, doesn't it? That head. I don't know. You could be right, Vera. You could be right. Here, kitty, kitty! You wouldn't have a cat like that on your windowsill, would you? You wouldn't be able to see out. George Bond says my two nephews, Ethan and Noah, they've got COVID. Ethan's 3 and... Noah's 3 and Ethan's 1, okay? Righty-ho. Let's have a look here. Jason Weatherspoons grub, pint and a fight on way out. Pint and a fight on the way out. Do they have a lot of fights in the Weatherspoons? Probably not the place for me. We don't like too much violence in there. Unless, of course, it's watching Mark Bowles kick the hell out of someone. I'd quite like to see that, to be honest. Thank you very much. Yeah, the thumbs up button if you don't mind, my darlings. Let's have a look. Daniel's been waiting a long time. No, he hasn't been waiting a long time at all. We put him straight on. Once the phone lines had opened. George is on the line. Good evening, George.
Good evening, Chris.
All right. How are you tonight? All right.
Yeah.
And what news do you have about your life today for us?
Not a lot, really.
No.
Yeah. Apart from, did you get my message?
What message is that?
About Ethan and Noel got COVID.
I've just read it out. Were you paying attention?
No.
Right. Well, pay full attention, and then you might actually be more involved with our little programme, dear. Are you getting married to Chloe soon?
How do you know I'm with her?
I know everything that goes on. I know everything there is to know about everything, George.
How do you know that?
I know everything, darling.
Especially that one, head of YouTube, Gary Butler.
Gary Butler, head of YouTube. Yeah, what about him? He knows everything that goes. He's a very, very important person, Gary Butler. I am here because of him working controls at YouTube headquarters.
Yeah, I know.
He's a very important person. He's head of YouTube.
Yes.
But are you head of anything?
Yeah, bingo.
You're head of bingo, are you?
Yeah.
And when are you playing bingo? Are you getting your bingo tickets from Daniel Woodhouse?
No.
No.
I've got my own system.
Oh, have you now?
Yes.
Go on.
I can't think what it's called, though. Free bingo something. It's actually American.
And what's the prizes? £10,000? Is there a link game? You know, what do you give away?
It's not a prize. It's just fun.
No prizes?
No.
Oh no, I can't be out. I couldn't be doing bingo I won't even play Monopoly for no prizes. Last time I was playing Monopoly with a few of my friends in Claridge's, and I won 2 houses. Lovely. Yeah, I won 2 and a caravan. I won 2 houses and a caravan. I was very pleased with my winnings. I can't believe you don't give out prizes on bingo. Well, what's the point in playing? That being said, I know a lot of old people's homes. They do bingo in the afternoons there, and all these people, they're all sitting around playing bingo, and the prize is like a packet of chocolate digestives. Which are very nice. I had chocolate digestives today at my mate's house. Oh no, it wasn't. It was hobnobs. And chocolate biscuits from Marks and Spencer's. They're these round ones with a hole in the middle. They are absolutely delicious, George. You must try one.
What, from Aldi?
No, Marks and Spencer's.
Yeah.
They're £2 for 9 biscuits. Very expensive, dear.
I like the ones from Aldi.
Yeah, they're only about 70 pence, something like that, 69 pence.
Yeah, and they're in like a blue packet.
That's right, I know the ones. I've had them myself. They're all right. Yeah, they're fine. Nothing wrong with those. I do most of my shopping at Aldi. I was down there last night, funnily enough. Got a couple of bags. I actually went in for what's it called? Decaffeinated tea. And I ended up with 2 bags of shopping and I forgot the tea, as usual. It always happens, George. Always happens. Mark Stone says that the George Bond bingo channel always makes George and Chloe free games for fun. There you go.
Yeah. There's... if you're interested in watching, Chris, I've actually changed the bingo channel off. I took that off.
Why is that then?
Because I've got another YouTube channel called the Bingo Channel.
The bingo... Well, you just said you'd taken it off.
No, I've got another YouTube channel.
Oh, right, okay.
Bingo. Yeah.
Right. Are you? So you're head of bingo. Gary Ross is head of flat pack furniture. Did you know that? He is head of flat pack furniture. He's very good with the screwdriver, darling. I've heard. He is king of all flat pack furniture in Northern Ireland.
You should see my Paps DIY.
Eh?
You should see my Paps DIY.
Oh dear. Well, you won't catch any me with flat pack. Thank you very much. There's no flat pack furniture in this house. John Lewis, darling. John, when it comes, it's made. Yes, sir. Where would you like this piece of furniture? Just put it in the corner, please. Thank you very much. Flat pack furniture. Dear me. It's awful stuff. Well, it's just made so badly. It's made from this compressed blooming little bits of sawdust, and the screw just goes in there. They're not even proper joints. I could show you the joints on my cupboards and things in the other room. And, you know, I will never, ever have to buy another wardrobe or another tool boy. They won't wear out. You know, after a while, unlike the MFI kitchen downstairs, I seem to be forever changing the blooming, what do you call them? The hinges on those doors. They keep going at the moment. Mind you, it is 25 years old, that kitchen. But you spend money at the beginning, and that's it. It's there for life, you know. It's like these microphones, that's actually that's not that was a cheaper one. But the microphones I buy, the last microphone I bought, one of them went wrong. I haven't got it up here at the moment. I had that for about 15 years. You've got to spend the money and then you don't buy it again, dear.
Yeah, Pat's DIY is he nails screws in.
He bangs screws in, what, with a hammer?
Yeah.
Oh, Christ almighty. I mean, even I'm crap at DIY, and I know you're not supposed to do that.
Yeah, I know. My uncle calls it curly nails.
Curly nails? Is that what he said? Curly nails? Yeah. Didn't you used to do something with wood? You made stuff. Was it bird tables or bird houses?
Yeah, I still do.
You still doing that?
Yeah.
Good. And you sell those? Is it a charity?
No, from my work where I go to.
Okay.
It's called, anybody's near Northampton in there, it's called Workbridge.
Workbridge, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah,
all right then, thank you very much for calling in today, George. Have a lovely evening.
Yeah, and you.
Cheerio. Bye, George.
Bye.
Oh, yeah, George giving us his weekly report of his activities. 0208 144 3477 if you want to call in or use the text as well, boys and girls. Okay. Bonds Beds Limited. Thank you, John. Bonds Beds. Quite like that. Doesn't he breaks his beds? If I remember rightly, he broke a bed, didn't he? Broke a bed at some point, yeah. Okie doke. 0208 144 3477 is the phone number. What else have we got on our show today? Buy Pigeons. Good news, boys and girls. Of course, if you're listening to the radio show, you'll know this already. The Pigeons have gone. They have been eliminated from my roof. I'm so pleased. Last Friday, 8:30 in the morning, there's a knock on the door. This lad was standing outside. Good looking lad. He was about 25, 28, I suppose. No, I reckon about 25 he was. Anyway, hello, mate. Come to do your pigeons. And I'll tell you about that in a moment. Let's just take another call. Hello, who's on the line, please?
It's Rachel.
Hello, Rachel. All right, darling? It's the Moon Lady. I'm with a moon shadow. Moon shadow, moon shadow. How many songs with moon? Fly me to the moon and let me do the above. Yeah. How are you, Rach?
I'm fine, and you? How are you keeping?
All well here, darling. What you got for us tonight, my love?
Good. I would just like to say I'm very honoured to have your blue spanner.
Honoured. Well, the blue spanner.
To have the blue spanner.
The blue spanner. I have to know someone really well. And I have to know that they've never really upset anyone in the chat box. They don't say stuff that can cause rows. They don't have rows, and I don't think you ever have. You're not political in there one way or the other, and that's how I would give out a blue spanner.
Thank you very much.
If I see, someone that's on there and might have created row or is constantly offended by something like that, that's no good. That's no good because you'll just get upset by someone else and then you'll block them. And I know you won't do that.
No, I don't get upset by anything.
I know, darling.
I'm not one of these snowflakes.
Oh, people get upset for the slightest thing now, don't they? Eh?
They do, yeah.
They go to see these comedians like Roy Chubby Brown, and then they complain about them. Well, why did you go then? Why go in the first place?
Yes,
oh,
and when it's cold in the house, I just wear my bedrobe, and that keeps me warm.
Right, and you would have that over normal clothes, would you, my love?
Over normal clothes, yeah. Gives extra warmth. And that cat is definitely a fake.
You think it's fake as well? Okay, yeah, fair enough. I mean, it was in the sun this morning, and
it's been blown up by using Photoshop, and it's been doing its rounds on Facebook for quite a few years now. That one.
Okay, well, it's a good job. You see, you're trying to take Vera's job, aren't you, as our chief researcher? I'm sorry, Rachel. You may have the spanner. May I ask, have you worked for the BBC?
Well, I would know.
Well, you see, we only have BBC researchers on this programme, darling. How's your photography coming along? I see your wonderful pictures of the moon.
Fine, yeah, I'm getting used to it. There's still quite a few settings on there. I've got to try and figure out what they do.
Of course, at this time, I see your pictures of the moon. You must have been bloody cold taking those pictures.
I look on Facebook as well of pictures other people are taking.
Yes.
I'm thinking, yeah, I could go out and do some of them.
Yes. I mean, I don't know if
a bit of inspiration.
Yeah. I don't know if you're with us right at the beginning of the programme. The night thing I've got when it starts with a picture of the moon. Have you seen that or not? Right at the beginning of the show.
Yeah, I noticed that, yeah.
The kind of warm-up bit. The little bit of music before. And there's a picture of the moon. That is actually that's a video. It's not a photograph. And that was done by my neighbour next door.
Yeah, and he went next door.
Yeah.
I've also been watching Will's photography. He does lives on Facebook.
Oh, right,
you see him, Will's photography. Yeah. He does lives through a telescope looking at the moon.
Well, my great-nephew Harry's got a telescope now. He got one for Christmas. I did ring up my nephew the other night when I realised it was a full moon. And I said it'd be a good idea now for Harry to get outside because it had been quite cloudy, really, and he couldn't use it. And certainly
Sorry, go on.
He hadn't been able to use it since Christmas. And I went outside. Of course, down south here, sometimes the weather's not the same as it is up north. But down south here, it was a clear sky and I could see this beautiful moon. And I rang up my nephew and I said, this is a good time for Harry to get outside with his it's only a little kiddie's telescope. But nevertheless, he'd be able to zoom in and you can see stuff on the moon, the different shapes and that. I mean, even with my, I've got binoculars. But it's really, you want to stand with these things, Certainly with your, tripod, I'm sure you've probably got a tripod, especially if you're doing like a video and you're zoomed in. But even with binoculars, to actually keep them still while you're looking at something is really difficult. And of course, the more you zoom in, the more obvious the shake becomes.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yes, it was a bloke who watches this show, actually, Artificial. And he suggested the binoculars, and he said don't get any more than 50 times because it's just impossible to stop them from shaking. So really you want to stand for this sort of thing, don't you, Rach?
You do, yeah. Yeah, I've been told by one of my photography friends that I need a heavy-duty tripod.
Yeah, I would imagine they're a couple of £100.
Because these little ones with the thin legs, if you get a gush of wind, that's going to knock your camera as well.
Yeah, go over, wouldn't it? Yeah. I mean, the heavier the better,
to be honest.
You need a really
heavy-duty, steady tripod.
I think I had a tripod once, and it had a hook. So you've got the 3 legs, and then there's the bit in the middle, right? It had a hook, and I just assumed that was for hanging something heavy to sort of weight it down a bit. Maybe, I don't know what you'd put on there, a sandbag or something like that. I just assumed that was what that hook was for there, really.
Yeah, because the one I use with my phone for my karaoke live,
yes,
that's got a little hook on the bottom.
Right. Maybe that's.
But I never knew what they were for.
Maybe that's what it's for. Or either that or to put a wire through so no one trips up on it, maybe. Something like that, I don't know.
I don't know, I ain't got a clue. Anyway, it's been good talking to you, Chris.
All right, Rachel, look after yourself, darling. Yeah. Nice to chat. Bye-bye, love.
You take care.
Keep taking those photos. Tell her, darling. There's our Rachel.
Hi, everyone on the chat.
Bye, love. There's our Rachel in Lincolnshire this evening, gang. Hello to Alex Roberts. Evening to Alex this evening. Welcome along to our show, Alex. Let's scroll up a little bit there. George Bombingo. Text messages. Ollie K. Hello to Ollie K. Hello, Ollie. Hello, Ollie. Evening, Chris. Within 2 weeks of my new school, I've made 2 hockey team sheets. Doors slowly opening. Yeah, keep at it, Ollie. Ollie's probably our youngest viewer this evening. And he's just started a new school a couple of weeks ago. Proper posh school it is as well. Wellington School in Somerset. And he's doing very well there. Glad to hear it, sir. And are you doing anything with the music as well, Ollie? Let's take another call, finishing 5-7. Hello, who's on the line, please?
Hi, it's Chloe Ramsey.
Who is that, please?
Chloe Ramsey.
Chloe Ramsey. Hello, Chloe. Oh, are you George's girlfriend, are you?
Yeah.
Hello, darling. How are you, my love? Are you out of bed?
I'm all right.
Whenever I see you on George's videos, you're always in bed eating a bag of crisps.
Yeah, because I've been at college and I had
Oh, have
cake last Christmas.
What is your favourite crisps?
I like any.
Do you? Mine is cheese and onion. Chloe, I'm terrible. I buy the £1 bags now. You know, the ones
I
that
do.
Oh, my God, they're massive. I'm sure they are the same size as the grab bags used to be.
Yeah.
The grab bags have got smaller, and the normal size bags, well, yeah, but by the time you've opened a bag and had one mouthful, they're all gone.
Yeah, I eat cheesy Wotsits then. Do you know them giant ones?
Cheesy Wotsits, yeah. I know those. There's not too many calories in. Is that the ones? Is it the baked? Are they baked or something? Not too many calories in those, is there?
I don't know, because I just eat them all.
Oh, they are nice. Anyway, Chloe, what can we do for you tonight, darling?
I just like watching your life and you go on that karaoke London.
Oh, you enjoy the karaoke streams, do you?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I enjoy doing them. We are hoping to do them at the new place as well. But I did a bit of a speed test while I was there. And it's a weird thing, really. I've got a really hard... I'm sorry, I might lose you technically here, but I've got a very high 4G signal, like 5 bars or 4 bars, whatever it is. But the speed is not fast. And I'm not quite sure why that is. So we may not be able to do it from there. But we'll certainly try. And we'll see what happens there. Because we'll probably get some different people. It'll probably be some of the same people who do travel to different karaoke nights. But hopefully we'll get some different people as well there.
Yeah, I was just laughing at you when you were doing karaoke in London. You were just dancing when you go past people.
Oh, I love to dance, dear. I dance in it when I'm doing my radio show in the morning. Believe me, I get up and dance to some of the music, like the Kylie Minogue stuff, or what's the one I played yesterday? The last night by Gloria Gaynor, which is like a 10-minute mega mix, and I played that on the radio show yesterday morning. I was dancing along to that, my love, and I conduct the orchestra while I'm dancing as well, like that. I used to do that in nightclubs, conducting the orchestra.
Especially, I'm on YouTube. I do some lives.
Oh right, okay.
I've got my own channel.
And what channel is that called?
Mrs. Chloe Bond Ramsey.
Mrs. Chloe Bond. What was the other word?
Ramsey.
Mrs. Chloe Bond Ramsey. That's your YouTube channel, is it, my love?
Yeah.
What sort of music do you like? Do you have any artists? Favourite artists?
I like Eminem and stuff.
Eminem. Okay. He's a bit old now, though, isn't he? He looked really good when he was younger, but now he's a bit old now. But he must be at least 30.
Yeah, I like any music.
Was it? Yeah.
Like dancing on my own, like Callum Scott, what we played last week on your karaoke when someone sang it.
Oh yes, that would be Ronan. Ronan sings that one.
Yeah.
He's got good. He's got good. I think he's been singing a lot at home because he's actually got very good now. He's a little bit out of tune before, but the last 3 or 4 visits he's made, he's now in tune. I think he's been practicing a lot.
Yeah, I like what's the other one? Always Maureen. I like Maureen who sings as well.
Well, she's with us tonight. If you've got a message for her, she'll be watching the show now.
Yeah, I like Maureen.
Hey, Maureen. She likes your singing. There you go. Chloe Bond likes your singing.
Yeah, she always watches Georgia as well.
Yeah. Is there anyone else you like singing? Anyone else you think's a really good singer?
I like that other one who sounds like I don't know, sounds gay or something. Someone who is always dancing and stuff when he's dancing to the music.
Who would that be? Who's one of the really best singers there?
I'm going to say you because you're a good singer.
Of course. No. I think. Do you know? I'll be honest with you. I wanted you to say that really, and I have to say I am entirely agreeing with that. Entirely agreeing. I always worry a little bit, to be honest, Chloe, that if I sing too early, it kind of shows everyone else up a little bit, doesn't it? Don't you think, my love?
Yeah.
You know, because I am so good.
I don't like singing in front of
And
people.
once I've sung, it's always a little bit downhill after that, isn't it? Perhaps I should just wait till the end and just save the night by bursting into a verse or two from The Sound of Music. Climb every mountain. Do you like that film, The Sound of Music?
Yeah.
Perhaps-
I can't sing them alive. If
Perhaps
I
you
sing,
could-
I'll get embarrassed.
Perhaps you could be a nun, Chloe. You could be a nun and move to Austria and run around on that big hill singing The Sound of Music.
I don't know. I'm not a good singer, me. I don't
Is
like
that
singing
appealing
in
to
front
you?
of people.
I was just going to ask you, you say you're at college, did you? Or university, one of the two?
No, I'm at college.
At college. May I ask, do you have an end, what you want to be at the end of it all?
I want to work in a care home.
Okay. Wow. Well, you won't be short of a job there, my love. They're desperate for people in care homes. Desperate.
Yeah, I've just got to wait. I've just got to, someone's got to help me, because I've got something wrong with me. I've got difficulties. So I've got to have someone there to help me.
Right.
To lift patients up with me. So
Okay.
I can't do it on my own.
And how
really
long?
hard.
How long is? I'm so sorry. I'm scratching my nose. I think I've got a little spot. You know when you get a little spot at the back of your nostril at the bottom. I've got itch, and I think there's a bleeding little spot there. How long from now will it be before you're able to go into that sort of work?
I don't know if I need my English to do.
Well, you sound English all right to me.
No, it's just not writing. I'm reading. I need to learn.
Do you have a little bit of trouble with reading? Do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like long words and stuff.
Right. So you're having a bit of, is that like extra help with that or what?
Yeah, I get 1-to-1 on every Monday.
Right. Can you actually write at the moment, or are you still learning?
I can. I just need some help to spellings and stuff.
Yeah. Well, keep at that. You know, not everyone picks everything up quickly. I have to tell you, Chloe, I wasn't very good at learning stuff from books at school. I'm more of a person where you show me to do something and then I'll be able to do it. To actually sit down at school, there's a word for it. I think it's academic. I wasn't very academic. You know, for a geography lesson, if they said, right, you need to read chapters 1 and 2 and we'll ask you about it next week, I couldn't think of anything more boring. However, if I went out on a field trip, I don't know, to Box Hill we went once, and then, right, okay, these leaves of this plant, then that's a very different thing altogether. And I think a lot of it sometimes is the way it's taught. But some people, like yourself, with the reading and writing, it just takes you a little bit longer. But don't give up, because I'm sure you'll get there, my love.
Yeah, I prefer English than maths.
Do you? Yeah, I wasn't very good at maths. Oh, I think a lot of time is wasted on maths at school. Trigonometry, algebra, these little...
Yeah, I do math on a Wednesday. And I do sewing as well.
Well, I mean, there's maths and there's maths, you know. There's maths adding up, taking away, multiplying and dividing. Stuff that you use on a normal day.
Yeah.
That's important. But the stuff like algebra and trigonometry, the triangle and that little half a circle thing with the numbers on it, and costs and signs and things like that. Where have I used that since I left school? The answer? Nowhere. Nowhere at all.
Yeah.
And I think there's an awful lot of time spent teaching people stuff that they're never going to learn.
Exactly. I don't do that. We were doing 3D shapes and 2D shapes, and we're doing charts and stuff, and make it like a bar charts.
Bar charts, yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
I do that.
I mean,
I start because I'm there at 10 o'clock till 12:30, and then I start my sewing 1 till 3:30.
Right.
My sewing. I do sewing as well.
Right. Well, I do have a couple of bar charts of my listeners to this show at the moment, which I'm now showing on the screen. Let me just a minute. Clean my. There you go. There's the bar chart of my viewers at the moment for people to see, and I'm hoping that it's going to go. So you won't be able to see that yet because you're chatting away to me. You'll get the joke.
Yeah, I can see it. I've got you on.
As you can see, It's a little bit low, to be honest. I'm kind of going into negative figures at the moment.
We're just doing like, you know, like how many like fruit and colours.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
We're doing that today.
And do you do that with rulers and pens, or is it on a computer screen nowadays?
No, just on his when my tutors just print paper like work off.
Right.
And then she makes it, and then we'll use a ruler and a pencil.
Oh, okay.
We'll do it on paper.
Yeah, ours was all on paper. Technical drawing and all that, something else I found particularly boring, to be honest. And there were no computers in those days when I was at school, you know.
Oh, yeah. We'll do computers. We'll do BKSB, have you heard that before?
What was that again?
BKSB.
BKSB?
Yeah.
What is that?
It's like you've got your English on it, you can get your maths on it, you've got your ICT on it.
What is it, a computer or something?
Yeah, it's on the internet, and you just if you've got something to do for your maths, just go on. If you've got to do a test on it, and it's easy to do it for your exam. Because I'm not starting the exam.
Oh, how fascinating! Yeah, okay. I'd never heard of such a thing.
Yeah, it is a new thing. I use it when I used to go into Margaret Street, because I go to Menegate in Wakefield, because I live in Yorkshire.
Okay. I like Yorkshire. It's a beautiful place. I've been to Whitby. Is it Whitby?
Yeah, I know Whitby.
Where the steam train is. I think it's a beautiful place. Yeah. I've been there twice actually with my nephew and his family. We really like it there. You know, all those chip shops and the ice creams. The only thing we don't like is the blooming great big seagulls which swoop down and nick your bleeding chips.
I know what you mean.
One landed on my nephew's wife's shoulder. She screamed the place down. We're just standing there laughing.
I know. Do you know when you do that karaoke in London?
Yes.
Where that pub is. I know where that is because my uncle lives not far from London, and I've been to London before.
All right. Where does your uncle live?
I don't know what I don't know what it's called. Right. He's not far from London.
Okay.
He's not far from the train station.
Mm-hmm.
And in the 29th of January, on the Friday to Sunday next week, I'm going to Scotland.
Oh, how lovely. Yeah, my niece is about to move there in next month sometime.
Whereabouts?
East Coast, the RAF place.
Yeah, I'm going to, because my family's from there, so we're going to Twecker in Glasgow, because we were going to go last Christmas, Boxing Day, and my dad had COVID, so we didn't go.
Is he recovered all right from that, my love?
Yeah, I covered. I had it on the 29th.
You had it as well, did
December.
you? Right. Okay, yeah. Like a lot of other people, my love. Yeah, we'll stay safe for that, my darling. Good.
I always do.
All right, Chloe.
I'll let you go then and see if anybody wants to ring you on your chat.
Nice to talk to you. First time we've spoken, isn't it? Nice one, Chloe.
Yeah.
Cheerio, my love.
Bye.
Thanks for calling. There we are, Chloe. That's George's girlfriend there, calling in. That's nice. First time, wasn't it, eh? Vera says... let's have a look there. Vera says the hooks on the tripods, we were just talking to Rachel about tripods, the hooks are indeed for weights on tripods, so that's a good idea, isn't it? All right. And Mark says Ollie goes to Wellington School. Yes, he lives 5 minutes from there, 6 minutes walk from there. A small world. Is it a posh school, Mark? Don't suppose you went there, did you, my love? Let's speak to someone else now. Who's on the line, please?
Mark Stone.
Hello, Mark. All right. Welcome along to our show, Mark.
How do you go?
All right. Oh, very well, Ferg. Very well. Whereabouts are you, sir?
Nottingham, sir.
Oh, you're in Nottingham as well, are you? Okay. Yeah. Welcome along.
Just about a couple of hours away from you.
Good. Yes, I know where you are. I know. Do I go past you on the A1M?
Yeah.
I do, don't I? Yeah.
It's like they're on the M1.
Yeah. I think is that where? Do you have a hospice there for children?
You've got to
Rainbows.
Nearby, yeah.
Do you have Rainbows Hospice there?
Oh, that's not long. That's nearby, yeah.
I think, yeah, okay, that's where Olivia went before she sadly passed over on, for a little bit of a... It was a nice place, very well run, I have to say. Yeah. Anyway, Mark, what are you calling in for? What you got for me?
I just want to say hi to you and your family and everybody who's watching.
Thank you very much, Mark. Do you work, Mark?
And also my two friends last watching too, George and Chloe.
Okay. Do you do a job, Mark, or are you at college, or what's your life consist of?
I left college a few years ago.
Right.
But I wasted 2 years. I wasted 2 years going to college.
Yes.
But I slightly got a part-time job with a bloke next door to me.
Yes. Okay. Doing what is that?
I do it. He does like skip hire. Is a skip hire business.
Right.
Slash skip hire business.
Yeah.
And with horses and all.
So horses. So what? So what do you?
Horses every morning and every afternoon.
What do you actually do? What do you actually do for this job?
I do most of the times just paint up his skips, paint up his lorries, do a couple of mechanics on lorries and that.
Oh, you do mechanics, do you? Can you fix cars and things like that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's always very good to know.
But not fully though. I'm not calling myself an expert, but I'm good at some mechanics.
Right.
And then, yeah, so I just do most of the time just tire chains on tyres.
And you enjoy doing that, do you?
Yeah.
Yeah, good,
yeah,
good.
Self-promoting that, and then a bit of self-employed on YouTube.
Right. You have a YouTube channel as well, do you?
Yeah.
And what's that called?
Mark Stone Limited, but I got quite a few YouTube channels.
Okay. Do you do lives on there, or just recorded shows? You do.
I do quite both videos and live streams.
You do lives, do you? Excellent, excellent. And what do you do your lives about? Are they just like random or?
Just like all sorts. What comes in.
Right.
Occasionally I do half an hour ones, sometimes an hour ones.
Yes.
Sometimes occasionally 3 hours.
Oh, that's a long one. I don't think I've ever done a 3-hour show. I think the longest was nearly 3 hours, but not quite.
I did one live stream a couple of months ago. I had to remove it because some very sort of remarks towards people, and so I had to delete it. That were 18-hour one. 18
hours?
Yeah.
What, on a live stream?
Yeah, from early morning till late.
Gosh. Blimey, that's a long one, isn't it? And what was that doing? Did you say games?
I was doing all sorts on it, really, like startups, doing a bit of gaming on it, doing a bit of business on it at the same time. But
yeah, that's a long stream.
On it, I deleted it a couple of months ago because I had a load of, racist stuff and all that.
Well, just turn off the chat box. Turn off the chat box. Oh, mind you, if you I think once the chat's on there, you can't get rid of it, but you can. You can, and this is how you do it, right? So you've done your video.
Yeah.
Okay. And it then has to process, doesn't it? Right. So you click the stop. That's right. Once it's processed, if you've got a chat box and you're not happy with it, simply go into the editing mode, okay, and just remove the first 5 seconds or the last 5 seconds of the whole video. Save it, and when it's finished saving, the chat box doesn't save with it, and it will disappear. Okay. So have you ever got a chat box that you don't like the look of? And generally, I try to remove the chat box from most of the karaoke streams, although that's got a lot better. People aren't as vile anymore to the singers, and it's a bit upsetting if you've sung and you've sung badly, and then some idiot sitting behind a keyboard says, "Oh no, they're really rubbish." It's just not on. It's not on, and that's why we stopped the chat box. But that's got a lot better now. And there's another moderator. We've got moderators on there who look for this sort of thing. It's just not fair to the singers. You could say, "Oh, we're only having a laugh." Well, what about the feelings of the singers? I mean, don't bother me. Say what you like to me, because I'll give you a bloody good answer. You know what I mean? But it's these people who think they can come on there and say what they want to say under the disguise of it's banter. Well, it's not banter to that person who's on the stage and has just sang badly. Everyone knows they sang badly. We just don't say it. You know what I mean? It's unnecessary. And that's why we stopped it before. But that's got a lot better now, and that's stopped. But if you get a chat box, that's how to do it. Just go into the editing after it's finished processing, and you can remove the first 5 seconds or a bit in the middle, whatever you want to do, just a few seconds, and that's enough to kick off the chat box, and then you'll just be left with the video. All right?
Yeah.
Anyway, nice to talk to you. All right, well, it's Mark, isn't it? Mark? Yeah, Mark Stone. Yeah. Okay, Mark, have a nice evening.
See you later.
Cheerio. There we are, Mark Stone calling in there from Northampton there. Good evening to Chris. Did I read out your message, Mark? Ollie goes to Wellington School. Yes, he lives 6 minutes walk from there. Did you not go to Wellington School then, Mark? Was it a little bit too posh for you, was it? My little chavvy friend, was it too posh for you? Eh? It's expensive to come to some of those schools. You know, certainly the ones in London, I would assume that these private schools outside London, I would assume they're not as expensive as some of those in London. I think, I'm just trying to think of some now and I can't think of names of private schools in London, but they are expensive. A very good evening to Chris Cross. Evening, Chris. Just popped in to say hello to everyone. It's Chris, DJ Chris, known at the karaoke there. Hello to you, DJ Chris. All right, hello to the dark side. Let's just scroll up there. Bum. There we are. People are pleased that Chloe rang in. Alex Dean. Is it Alex Dean? Hello, Alex. Builds a website for living and designs videos for clients for weddings. His cousin works at Heart Global Studios. You see, I'm not keen on Heart. There's no personality. They just tell us what the song is, the time. I mean, I've done this subject so many times about commercial radio. I just find it boring. No one's talking to me. They're just shouting at me all the time. No one is talking to me as a person. I don't feel like I'm being involved in what's going on. It's just the station name. The next few records are, the time is, and do you want to win £10,000? And that's it. That's how they attract people. You know, it's not for me, commercial radio. Not anymore. It was years ago, but it's not now, unfortunately. Okay. Once again, gang, if you find your messages aren't getting read out or they're getting missed, do text your message in, okay? 07451 287 337. Oh my God, is it 27 minutes past 9 already? Blimey, that's gone quick, isn't it? I thought I might finish at 9:30. I can go down and get my decaffeinated tea bags, but I've forgotten, unfortunately. Anyone else want to call in? 0208 144 3477. Paul, hello to Paul. Where's Abby and Jeannie D, Chris? And that's from Paul in Portsmouth. I have the same question, actually, certainly about Jeannie D. I've sent her a couple of messages on Facebook. She doesn't pick them up on Facebook Messenger, from what I can see, because you always get the little, what is it, a tick or something like that you get? But you know when someone's picked up a Facebook message, don't you? Your little picture comes up on the side, doesn't it? That's it. I'm just looking at a very private message for someone earlier, and the little picture of the person comes next to your message when it's been picked up, but her picture never came up next to her messages, so I don't think she uses MSN Messenger. So I don't know what's happened to Jeannie D. Abby was in a few weeks ago. I haven't seen her for a couple of weeks now, but she has been down, so thanks for asking that one, Paul. All right, Paul in Portsmouth there. Alex did his first show on the radio yesterday, on the radio on air at 4:00. It was really good. What station was it? Oh, was that Reach on air? How did that go? Did you get your technicals all right? Generally, quite often happens, and it's just one of those things. The first few shows are a bit iffy. People can't quite get the technical stuff there right, but I don't know how yours went. I'll try and find it at some point. All righty. Okay, boys and girls, so let's move on a little bit here. Bye-bye, Pigeons. Now, I wanted to tell you this. Funnily enough, DJ Chris is with us tonight, and you may remember I had a bit of a problem with Pigeons, boys and girls. And last Friday, this lad turned up at the door. There were two of them, actually. Good-looking lad. And he said, come to do your pigeons, mate. And anyway, this was at 8:30, and I was due on the radio at 9 o'clock. I said, well, I've got to be upstairs and do a radio show at 9. He said, yeah, that's no problem at all, mate. What time do you finish? And I said, 10 o'clock. And he said, we might well be finished by then. Do you want us to we can just leave quietly, we won't disturb you, and close the door behind us? And I'm like, yeah, okay. Anyway, so they started. I thought it was a bit quick, but they were only here about less than an hour. And in that time, they put ladders up on the roof, climbed all over the roof, put this wire stuff around it. Now, it's not like chicken wire or anything like that. This is like heavy duty gauge stainless steel wire type stuff, or whatever it is made out of, and they have to bend it to shape, and it pushes under the solar panels, and they put some sort of clips on it. When it gets warmer, I'm going to go up and have a look. I won't climb on the roof. You must be joking, mate. You know where that's going to go, don't you? I won't climb on the roof or anything like that, but I will go up, and I'd like to see how this stuff is fixed up there. And they were only here about just less than an hour, I think, and it all went a bit quiet. I heard a little bit of banging on the roof, but I think that was probably them getting rid of the pigeons. You bang the panels, these pigeons all run there. They're terrified and about to be made homeless. So I saw them doing that, and then I saw out the window this grey thing drop down. I thought, oh my God, these dead pigeons are coming down into my garden. But it wasn't actually. I've got this brush thing that's in the guttering to stop leaves, right? And that works quite well. And they'd taken that out because after they'd done this metal thing all around the sides, they then give your solar panels a really good clean and clean out your guttering as well. All part of the service, right? And at about 20 to 10, it went a bit quiet, and I thought, oh. And I had a tip for the two boys. I had a £10 each for them. And the reason I had £10 each, I always give people a tip if I think they've done a good job for me. But I went downstairs with 20 quid and they'd gone. The door was closed. They'd cleaned up as much as they could outside. The garden's a little bit, of course, the grass is a little bit churned up now, unfortunately. But that's just how it is, that's because of the job they were doing, so I don't complain. But they didn't leave any mess at all. You wouldn't even know they'd have been there, actually, to be honest, with the... apart from the grass being a little bit trampled down, which you can't complain about that. And that was it. Anyway, so later in the afternoon, I thought I'll have a walk round the back and see what they've done. And I walked round the back. Oh, it was hilarious. It was hilarious. There was a lot of pigeons under there, it appears. And I went round the back and I could see all these little metal bits sticking up now from my roof, which I hope won't be attracting any lightning bolts, because that likes metal, doesn't it? I hope that won't be attracting any lightning bolts. Mind you, it's not even as high as my TV aerial, so I assume that'll be all right. As well as the bits of metal going around these panels now, there were I kid you not, 7 or 8 pigeons. And it was hilarious. These pigeons were walking around and their little heads were going up and down like, what's happened here? And I couldn't quite get close enough because there was a lot of trees there as well. And I couldn't get a video. And I wanted to do a video to show you, but I couldn't get one, unfortunately, because the trees were in the way. But these pigeons were walking up and down the roof like this, and their heads... They were going like this, trying to see why they couldn't get in anymore. And that's it, really. The pigeons were then literally climbing on the solar panels, trying to look in the gaps between the panels. But that's only that. You wouldn't get through there. You'd get a mouse through there, but not a pigeon. And they can't get in. They can't get in. Now, the bloke did tell me, and this is true, he said you will hear a bit of noise up there, when they try and get back in, but after a while they will realise that's it, game over, and they will go elsewhere. But apparently these pigeons are a bit herd-like, and if one finds a way in, others will follow it, and others come, you see. Hence, there were so many underneath there. And I have indeed heard noises up there, and it literally sounds like metal is being pulled, right? It sounds a bit like metal is being pulled a little bit, from underneath the solar panels, but I don't think they've got in yet because I used to hear this, like scratching noises and all that in my bedroom where they were underneath the solar, but I haven't heard that since. All I've heard is like metal being pulled So fingers crossed that'll be all right. And there's a 10-year guarantee on that as well. But it's not just me who's had a bit of a problem with pigeons because DJ Chris sent me over this photo I saw on his Facebook earlier. Look, this is the flats that DJ Chris lives in. Look at them. They're waiting to attack, Chris. Look at them all. There's hundreds of the bleeding things. But of course, it's not so much the noise. I mean, they don't really make much noise. Coo, coo noises. Coo, coo noises like that. It's the mess that they make. And by the looks of it there, I would imagine, I think Chris's roof, he's in a flat there in London. I think it's probably a flat roof by the looks of things. And of course, in time, flat roofs always go. They just go, unfortunately. And I would imagine that the pigeon mess is not exactly extending the life of a flat roof like that. Of course, so the pigeons have gone now. About 10 years ago, I also had a squirrel problem in my loft. Which was just a nightmare, I can't tell you. Because squirrels do terrible, terrible damage to your loft. They bite through cables, metal water pipes, they'll bite through those. I mean, if you ever get squirrels, you've got to get rid of them as quickly as possible. Either get someone in or something like that. All right. Let's just scroll up a little bit there. Well, there's Alex, trying to book my next show. Can't do it. A bit strange. I'll check in a couple of days. Why can't you book? What's happening? Trying to book another show in. I used VJ, need to sort out my mic levels. Yeah, you might well need to do that. Do some rehearsals first there, okay? Yeah, so you got on there, all right. Chloe says she wants my clock. Yeah, I've had that a while now, that clock. It's good, isn't it? I got that for eBay, much cheaper than buying it new, but it was new. Someone was selling one on eBay. I think I paid about £75 for that, right? If you look them up, I believe they're about 150 quid. Large clock with date. Let's see if I can find one here. Here we go. Oh my God, yeah. £379 in John Lewis. £379. That's dear, isn't it? And that's not really like my one. There's one like mine. Here we go. £157. Here, let me take a photo of it. Here, Chloe. See, that's dear. It's very dear. I suppose you could afford one of those, but... Or 147. That's similar to mine as well. Hang on, let's do that. That's the most similar one. There, let me show you. Yeah, I found one. Oh, hang on. Where's that photo gone? There it is. There you go. £157. Look, there you go. It's very similar to mine, isn't it, that one? That's a black and white one. I can't see a red one in there. But I only paid £75. I think it was £75 or £80 for mine. Oh, there's a lovely yellow one. But that's not like that. 145. 185. 319. They're not cheap, those things. There's nothing less than £100. You might try on eBay. See if I can find one on eBay for you. Large flip calendar clock. Let's see what we find on eBay. Oh, well, there's one for 50 quid on eBay. Ooh. Looks like mine. There you are, 50 quid. Has anyone bid yet? No one's bid. Oh, it's 3 days bidding to go. Hang on, here you go. 50 quid, that one on eBay. There you are, 50 quid. Second-hand one. That's all right, second-hand, as long as it works. But, of course, no one has bid on that one yet. So you might want to have a look on eBay. eBay. Type in flip. Hang on a minute, what did I say? Flip calendar clock. Flip or a large flip calendar clock. I know that Habitat do them brand new, I think. There's £61, £145, £183. They're not cheap, but I can't find a red one. That must be a A collector's item. You can have that one if you want. 800 quid. There you go. Cash or cheque, darling. Cash or cheque. Hello to Stephen Petty. Evening, Stephen. Nice to have you with the show tonight, Stephen. Thanks very much, Stephen, for your little text there. And Vera says, update on my rate my chair bid on eBay, £8,000. That's the bloke who does Rate My Takeaway. An excellent, excellent YouTube channel. Very, very likeable calendar. Anyway, he broke his chair the other day. And he's put it on eBay. £8,000 that's up for now. But it's not the chair, you see. It's because it was his. It's because it was his. That's why he broke his chair. Talking to people breaking things, my Auntie Brenda fell over the other day. Poor Auntie Brenda, she's about 82. And she fell over on her drive. It was slippery with frost and that. She ended up cutting all her head open. She managed to get to her neighbour's house, who called an ambulance. They came immediately. Took her into hospital. They bandaged all her head up. But I spoke to her, I think it was yesterday or the day before yesterday. And she was saying her head is fine. She doesn't feel any pain at all in her head. But it's her bum. You know, when you go down and she's got a really bad... And, of course, as you get older, you've got less meat on there, you know. Not like me, the big fat arse I've got, dear. You know, I wouldn't feel a thing if I fell down on my arse. But as you get older, you do lose a lot of padding around there. And when older people fall over like that, it's very, very dangerous. Cracking hips and this, that and the other. It's so easily done. So poor Auntie Brenda, not too well at the moment. Anyway, let's just pop in the chat box again and then we'll move on. They're just talking to each other, are there? Peter Wright's there. Hello to Peter Wright joining us as well this evening, gang. Don't forget, if you want to send me a direct message, 07451287337 is my text number. Okie doke. School puddings. Now, I came across this story on the news tonight. While I had a little sleep in the afternoon. I got up at half past 6. And I had the news on the London news. There is a school, and I am not happy with this. They have decimated school puddings. Who had school dinners? Who enjoyed school dinners? We had the best school dinners ever. I went to the London Oratory School in Fulham, and I wonder if Ollie's still with us. What's your school dinners like at Wellington School? I bet they're nice there. What about you, Mark Bowles? What was the school dinners like where you were? Was it just a crisp machine? Oh, I could do with a bag of crisps now, actually. If I finish the show now, I could just about get to the co-op and buy a bag of crisps. Should I do that? Cheese and onion crisps. Chloe's got them. She's got Wotsits. She's got cheese Wotsits there. I've got no crisps here. It's just going to be a boring bit of toast for me in a minute, I think, really. But yes, we had the most wonderful school dinners at London Oratory School. Wonderful school dinners and the puddings to match. Treacle sponge pudding at school. Do you remember your school puddings? What did you have? What did you have and what was your favourite? 07451287337. What was your favourite school dinner? Or your favourite pudding? Treacle sponge pudding, eh? Remember that one? With custard. Sometimes we had ice cream. I'm not quite sure how they kept that cold. I'm sure we had ice cream. The pink custard. Is it blancmange? Pink custard, is that the same thing? I remember having pink custard and some sort of sponge pudding. Spotted dick. With all the little, is it currants and raisins and things in that sponge pudding? Oh, God, what else? What else did we used to have as school puddings? Apple sponge. My mum used to do an apple sponge as well. Apple sponge. Peaches and custard, maybe. Apple crumble. Blackberry crumble. All with custard. You had that big vat of custard at the end, didn't you? And the dinner lady would pour it on there. Wonderful, wonderful puddings. Well, there is a primary school in London that has decimated School puddings. I cannot believe this. It's one of those millennial types. Let's make Britain healthier. We don't want to be healthier. I want my treacle sponge pudding, thank you very much, with the pink custard. Not in this school anymore. It was on the BBC tonight. This is from the news online thing called My London News. Primary school ban kids. Primary school bans kids from eating pudding at lunch as it impacts their education. Oh, for God's sake, you miserable old bag. The school's head asked, after you leave school, in what other walk of life are you having high sugar puddings after lunch every day? Well, that'd be me then. Me and my mate, we love the Waitrose sticky toffee pudding. God knows how many calories. I don't know how many people it's supposed to serve, but in our case, 2. Do you like sticky toffee pudding? And we have that with usually Kelly's ice cream. Even when I'm out in a restaurant, I quite like sticky toffee pudding with either custard or ice cream. When we had that rather expensive pie and mash just before Christmas, you remember the one in Soho? I told you we went to this pie and mash shop in Soho. And it was me buying, and I was quite pleased when we said, well, why don't we have pie as a pie? I thought, oh, good, that's not going to cost me much. How wrong was I? 45 bloody quid. 2 pie and mash. That's 1 pie and mash each, not 2 pies. 1 pie and mash each. Right? A little side of onions and baked beans, I think I had. 2 sticky toffee puddings with ice cream and custard on, the same thing. Delicious. And 2 Coca-Colas, 45 bastard quid. Jesus Christ. I'm telling people, this used to have gone down to Peckham. You get a double pie and mash, $6.99, thank you very much. It's almost worth the train journey, isn't it? You'd spend less money going by train to Peckham, having a lunch and coming back again than you would in Soho. I'd quite like to do that, actually, go down to Peckham and have something like that. Because Peckham, of course, is where I was brought up. Oh, not quite, but I was brought up more in Roehampton. But for a while, we lived in Peckham till I was about 9 years old, I think. Lived in Peckham, South East 15. Funnily enough, there's another pub who's interested in a karaoke in Nunhead, which is quite near Peckham. Anyway, let me read you this story. An East London primary school has banned children from enjoying puddings at lunchtime as staff believe they're impacting their education. Do you know what? School days are bad enough without you removing some of the enjoyment that we used to have having pudding. You know how you go through school days, and I don't know about you, I was bored to tears at school. I didn't really... I went to a very, very good school. It certainly taught me discipline and respecting other people and all this, that, and the other. I went to a very, very, very good school indeed. But I didn't particularly enjoy the lessons. I liked music. I liked biology. What's the other science thing we did? I didn't particularly enjoy... chemistry was all right, but that blooming table thing with all the little elements on it, and we are supposed to learn this by heart. That bored me to tears. I was a very bored person at school. Didn't enjoy French or maths, not really English. I didn't enjoy school. But the one thing that kept us going is looking forward to the lunch. We had the most wonderful lunches at school. And part of that lunch, of course, was the pudding. Apple crumble with custard. This old bag's taken it all away. Scott Wilkie Primary School in Newham has banned stodgy puddings after raising concerns that sugar crash is leaving their pupils tired and irritable in the afternoon. No, it ain't the pudding, love. It's your lessons. That's what's leaving them tired and bored, tired and irritable. It's not the puddings, darling. It's your lessons. You're boring. Teacher, leave them kids alone. All I want is just another sticky toffee pudding with custard or pink custard. Oh, what a miserable old man. The school will instead use the money previously spent on dessert, ready for this, to provide kids with a healthy morning snack, such as fruit bowls, yogurts, and cereal bars. And this is reported in the Stoke-on-Trent Live. Wow. Executive head teacher. Oh, they like a title, don't they, some of these people? Executive head teacher Kerry Edge said that removing the puddings from lunchtime means pupils will be more engaged with learning. You reckon? You've taken away the one thing that we all look forward to in the middle of the day at your boring primary school, or whatever it is. Is it a secondary primary? I don't know what it is. You've taken away the one bit of pleasure that those children had to look forward to. She said, after you leave school, in what other walk of life are you having high sugar puddings after lunch every day? But my house, thank you very much. You may not have it in your house. We do. Newham has one of the highest levels of obese children in the country. Well, it's not happening at school, is it? After they've had their dinner, they're running around in the playground. We need to think more carefully about the amount and kind of food and exercise we are offering to our children. Our children used to sit down with their main meal and pudding, and while backs were turned, would eat the pudding before the main. Well, what's wrong with that? I can't get over this. This has taken away that problem, and of course it's taken away the problem. They don't want the pudding anymore, that's why. How many kids are out there and can honestly say they rather enjoy eating an apple than a sticky toffee pudding? Or a treacle sponge pudding with the golden treacle on top and pink custard? You miserable old bag! Even as adults, if we have a healthy lunchtime meal, then we are generally not good for too much in the afternoon. For children, it's even more pronounced. She explained, we found they were tired and irritable in the afternoon because they've had the sweet pudding but then had a huge sugar crash. Naturally, this is going to impact on their education, their capacity to learn and retain... Well, I'm sorry, I don't go along with this. Listen, some of my friends are high up in businesses. They own businesses. They run businesses. They make shed loads of money, much more than me. And they all sat there and had sticky toffee pudding, treacle sponge pudding, apple crumble with custard, blancmange, angel delight. Angel delight. I got addicted to that at one point. A few years ago, about 15 years ago, I kept doing angel delight. How delicious is that? All you got to do is mix it with milk. Out comes the powder. Whisk, 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 and in the fridge. Wow. Some parents initially raised concerns about the decision to ban pudding but have since moved back to the scheme after noticing an improvement in the children's engagement. I just can't believe that. Wow, what a cruel... I think she gets pleasure, and there's a picture of her. There's a picture of her holding this, but I mean, you know, look, this is their pudding now. I think, is this their pudding, or is this the morning snack? I don't know. There she is. There's this old bag. Look at her. Look at her. I mean, is that appealing to you as a child? Look, oh, you can't really see that, can you? Hang on. There you are. That is instead of pink custard, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I'm glad I didn't go to your school. You know, just because you don't. If you want to go home and have an apple and an orange instead of having a nice sticky toffee pudding, you go home and have it. Leave them kids alone. All I want is just another brick in the wall. Cruel, cruel lady. Cruel lady. Vera says there are kids on Rely on having a pudding because it's the only sweet they will ever have if they're below the poverty line. Absolutely, Vera. She says, that's another one. My favourite pudding was upside down pineapple pudding with custard. I remember that one. I remember that one. Thank you, Vera. Anyone else on the puddings? Let's pop in the chat box. Thank you, Chloe. Chocolate custard. Yes. That's another one. Chocolate sponge pudding with custard. Anyone hungry yet? Are you hungry yet? Who wants to go to that school? Hello to Built in Scotland. Hello, Mick. Who wants to go to that blooming school? Apples and bananas for pudding? Dear me. Anyone else talking about that? Trifle. George Bond likes trifle. Did we have trifle at school? I don't seem to remember. We might have done. Might have had trifle at school, George Bond. Rachel, cheesecake. New York cheesecake. Delicious. Oh, yeah. I like New York cheesecake. Do you know what, Rachel? I've made the mistake a couple of times of buying... Because they're not actually... If you buy a whole one, rather than going into, like, Starbucks or somewhere ghastly like that where you get this... Where is it? £2.50 and you, well, where is it? I can't even see the damn thing, it's so small. Rather than doing that, you go to Sainsbury's and you buy a whole cheesecake, less than £2. I can't remember how much it is now. Right? Have you done this, Rachel? And you get home and you see that, I think I'm going to have a decent piece and you cut a quarter of it. A quarter. And you can't eat the damn thing. There's so much of it. Oh, New York cheesecake. That, I mean, it's beautiful. Beautiful. Peter Wright likes semolina. Yes, semolina. I remember that. And tapioca in that big metal vat thing. You know, she used to spoon that out into your bowl. Semolina. Chloe, favourite pudding? Sticky toffee pudding with custard. Rachel liked the semolina as well. George likes spotted dick. Thank you for wishing Auntie Brenda well. Parks91. Hello, Parks91. What's your favourite part of Bracknell? Swinley Forest. Swinley Forest. It's not far from me at all where I am here. I just need to cross over one road, Ringmead. I cross over that road. I walk through a little bit of like a wooded area. And then I cross over 9 Mile Ride, very dangerous road. Cross over 9 Mile Ride and I'm in the forest. That's my favourite part of Bracknell. I love it in there. I am at my happiest when I'm walking through that forest. Whether it be winter or summer. Funnily enough, I haven't been over there for a few weeks. I used to do a lot of volunteer litter picking over there. And then I started doing it around the streets around here. Where it's much worse, you know, you've got to go and do it a couple of times. There's quite a few of us do it around here. So yes, Swinley Forest Parks is my favourite part of Bracknell. Whereabouts are you? Are you Parks 91? I wonder where you are. Are you in Bracknell? Chloe said that picture of the pigeons reminds her of the film The Birds. Oh yeah, do you remember that? When all the birds swooped down, didn't they? And started pecking people's eyes out. We're going to close the phone line now. Thanks very much for those of you that called in tonight, my darlings, all right? If you call now, you'll just get an answer phone, all right? Anyone else? There we are. That's it. Bread pudding. Bread pudding. Yeah, bread pudding. There's another one. I think we had that at school. Bread pudding, bit of sugar on the top there, John. Very, very nice indeed. Thank you, John. Thank you, John. Okay. And finally today, I want to tell you what happened to me again in McDonald's. Now, you may remember last week's show. Again, if you listen to the radio show, you would have already heard this story. Oh, let me just do these messages. I beg your pardon. Rachel Semolina. Thank you, Rachel. She's texted in Semolina. And Vera says, now you know where you go cruise it. I don't think so, darling. There's none of that business goes on over there, my love. There's none of that goes over there in Swinley Forest. It's just a nice walk. It really is. I love walking through there. It's so quiet. You rarely bump into anyone actually during the week. You can walk in there for an hour and a half and not go past anyone. I love it. So peaceful, natural. You know, even at some points you even lose the phone signal. And Vera says, How's the Queen going to launch her royal pudding if they take it away? Exactly. How can you take away kids' school puddings and give them apples and blooming bananas instead? It's a shame great nieces and nephews aren't watching the show today. I would love to have heard what they think of their school dinners. Funnily enough there. Yeah. Right, yeah, finally, yes, McDonald's. Now, you may remember last week, me and my mate, we ordered one to be delivered, and it came with the wrong burger. Instead of having the plant burger, this is what I wanted. Well, this is the only reason I ordered it. I wanted to try the plant burger, which incidentally Vera has tried, and liked it very much, don't you, Vera? She liked it very much. Was there an email there? I think we had an email from you somewhere about the plant burger, which I've held on to. Where is it now? There is. There is. She said she went to McDonald's with my mates the other morning and asked them to get the plant burger for me. I've no idea how much it cost. It's the same price as a Big Mac, I think it is. I don't think they would have, but they did. It was delicious. I've never tasted anything like it before. This is the McPlant burger. It literally had everything. The sauce, the salad. I only got the burger and nothing else. I wish I had more food. The burger was gone in seconds and I was still hungry. And this is the problem with McDonald's food. You're still hungry afterwards. I always find that. She said, I'll definitely have it again, and this time by 2. I'm going to get it on the way home tonight. So presumably you've already done that, Vera, and enjoyed the experience. Well, on the first time that we ordered this plant burger and some other stuff from via Deliveroo. It was either Deliveroo or Uber Eats, one of those two. Right, okay. So this big bag arrives very quickly, admittedly. And we brought it in, opened the bag. Number one, my McPlant burger was a fillet of fish, right? And number 2, they'd forgotten the apple pies. So we were lacking. He immediately rung them up and we got an answer from McDonald's, who then said, well, if you'd like to pop down, we'll sort that out. Well, we couldn't pop down. That was the whole idea of ordering it. You don't think we'd order something and pay extra money for having it delivered if we could have left the house ourselves. I didn't have my car and he couldn't drive. So we couldn't do that. So ever since then, that was on Wednesday or Thursday last week. Ever since then, he's been sending 3 messages now to either Uber Eats or Deliveroo. I can't remember which one it is. And they've not replied. McDonald's said you've got to go through Uber Eats to get the refund. We can't get a reply from them. Or my mate can't get a reply from them, rather. So that was that day. So on Sunday afternoon, I just finished playing the organ at church. And we come out of there. I came out of there. And I rang my mate. He said, do you fancy McDonald's for lunch? I said, well, what, for Sunday lunch? He said, yeah, just to try out the McPlant burger. And I'm like, well, yeah, okay then, go on then. So I jumped on my bike and cycled round to his house. I said, we're going in the car. Okay, come round here. So I went round to his house. And he got the car out and we went to McDonald's. We went to the McDonald's in town. Not the same one where we got the delivery from. And we ordered it on that virus-riddled, touch screen thing, you know. Burger, yeah. Well, I found it quite complicated. We got it eventually. So we ordered the things and we changed some of the stuff in the burgers, you know, extra onions or remove the pickle, that sort of thing. And we pushed the button and paid the money and that's it. And then we went, and it's literally as soon as we turned around, it said ready for collection. It was a bit odd. Excuse me, have we got number 75? Oh, it's not ready yet. I said, well, it's ready for collection up there. Oh, that happens sometimes. If you just like to wait over there, okay, fine. So we went over there and the bag comes. And knowing what a muck-up they'd made last time, I said, you better look in that bag and check what's in there. So we had a quick look in the bag. Well, the chips, these bloody cardboard things were half full. We ordered large meals, half full. So we said, well, could you fill that up, please? So without arguing, they took these cardboard things back and filled it up. Fair enough. And I said, the apple pies are there. And he's looked at, no apple pies. Where's the apple pies? Oh, sorry. So I put the 2 apple pies in there. I said, does it all look all right? We saw a burger on the top. Okay, right, fair enough. And all right, off we went. Got back to his house. And we obviously didn't look properly because when we looked in the bag, there's no McPlant burger again. And I'm a bit pissed off now because of that. I mean, how do you get that wrong? We've touched this screen. Somewhere there'd be like either a printout or some message on the screen. Right, this goes in this bag. Plant burger, 2 large chips, two apple pie, this, that, and the other. Right? All they've got to do is read on the screen and put the item in the bag. Surely that's how it works. I mean, how difficult can that be? But now they've got that wrong again. Remember, they didn't put the apple pies in. We only noticed that before we left the shop. Where's the apple pies? Oh, sorry. Well, I'm sorry. Sorry isn't quite cutting it. Rung up, very sorry, can you come down? So we jumped back in the car and we went. I said, this is going to be cold. He said, eat the chips now. So we ate the chips on the way there. And then we got back there. Again, they're very apologetic. And my mate, he goes to town when he's upset about something. He does go to town on them. And starts giving them a bit of abuse, to be honest. Probably a little bit more than I would normally do, but that's just how he is, and that's okay. And I jumped in as well. I said, look, this is the second time now. How do you manage to get this so wrong? I said, someone is obviously not doing the job properly. Someone's not paying attention to this screen. And it can't be that difficult to do this. Can't be. I mean, how'd you put a fillet of fish in for a McPlant burger when we had it delivered? Anyway, so he's putting the stuff in. He said, so I want you to change all this food, please. We've already had the chips because we were so hungry. We'd like some more chips, please. And if you could throw in a couple of McFlurries for our inconvenience. And he said, no, we can't do that. And he's like, why not? Oh, head office won't allow it. Listen, we've gone all the way home. It's taken us 10 minutes to get home, 10 minutes to get back here. We're standing here waiting for you now. The least you can do is chuck in a couple of ice creams. No, it wouldn't do that. Bad customer service. I tell you what, if that was my restaurant, you wouldn't have to ask me for the ice creams. I'd say, do you want a couple of ice creams in there or something like that as a way of expressing our apology to you? No, wouldn't give us a damn thing, would they? So we had the plant burger. It was all put in there. I said, we might as well eat it in here now. I'm so hungry at this point now. We had the food and it was all right. The burger was okay. Unlike you, Vera, I wouldn't say I was mad on the burger. It was okay. It was fine. Nothing wrong with it. But I'm not like over the top mad on it. But I agree with you. It's not that big, is it? It's not like a double Big Mac or something like that. It's just this like single thin burger. In all honesty, you know those veggie things they used to do? They put these 2 veggie things in there, whether or not they still do those or not. They were more filling than this particular burger, which was fine. And then we had the little cheese things and we finished all that off and then we went on a vanilla shake and what have you. Yeah, we had that, and then when I got to be honest, after that I felt a bit, I don't know if I enjoyed that or not. And I don't really enjoy going to McDonald's. I don't feel particularly good. I'm sure there's nothing wrong with the food. I don't feel particularly good after I've had a McDonald's, and there's this like taste of oily stuff in your mouth. And then I'll come home and I got up again later on, and I've had all this acid coming up, and because it's all fried food, isn't it? I mean, fancy going there on a blooming. And I've said this before. You know, people that go to McDonald's in Kentucky on a Sunday afternoon for their Sunday afternoon dinner, it ain't doing it for me. I know it's probably the modern thing, and perhaps I'm a bit old fashioned, but nah. And funnily enough, I talked to my mate. He said, you know, after that, the next day, he said he had terrible stomach the whole day. And I said, look, why don't we just agree just not to have McDonald's anymore? Because it's obviously not. It's not great food. I'm sure it's not going to poison you to death or anything like that. But it's not like having a meal with vegetables and potatoes. And don't tell me those chips are potatoes. They're not the same thing, is it? Proper potatoes, proper vegetables. Perhaps, I don't know, a beef burger or a veggie burger if you like me, something like that. It's not the same. Let me tell you, if I cook you a meal, right, you will not be hungry afterwards, Vera. And just as simple as that. You seriously won't be hungry afterwards, all right? Mark Stone loves apple pies and chips. What, together? I'm not sure you want to have apple pie and chips. Maybe a minced beef and onion pie and chips. Thank you, Paul. Thanks for the update on Jeannie D and Abby. I'll try. What I'll do, Paul, is put a note on Jeannie D's wall because she does post on there. Maybe she'll see that. I don't think she's seeing the messages. Hope to see you and Ronnie doing some grass cutting again soon. I should be on prime time telly. No, I don't think so. We don't say the right things now. We upset people, dear. I'm not going to sit here worried about offending anyone. Don't worry about that. Thank you, Paul in Portsmouth there. All right. Okay. All right. Mark says the McDonald's is okay, but it's pricey. Yes, it's not a cheap meal anymore, is it? It used to be quite a cheap meal having McDonald's, didn't it? It certainly was. Okay, boys and girls, I'm going to disappear. Thanks ever so much for joining us on our little live show there. Hope to be with you, as I say, every Wednesday at 8 o'clock is a live video show on this channel. Alrighty, thanks so much for watching and listening. I shall see you again very soon. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday night. Good night now. Something's gone terribly wrong. Something's gone terribly wrong, boys and girls. Something's gone wrong. Something's gone wrong. Let me try that again. We've got to have the whole closing video, haven't we? Where's that gone there? Let's try that again. Sorry. Bye.